Part 4. Welcome back. Then, all at once, everything went black before their eyes and they couldn't see. At the same time, a funny feeling came over them all, and they heard a great wind blowing in their ears. Then the black that was before their eyes turned to blue, to green, to red, and then to gold, and suddenly there they were, standing in lovely bright sunshine in their own garden, near their own house, and everything was back to normal once again. Our wings are gone, cried Mr. Gregg, and our arms have come back. And we are not tiny any more, laughed Mrs. Gregg. Oh, I'm so glad. Philip and William began dancing about with joy. Then, high above their heads, they heard the call of wild ducks. Quack, quack, quack. They all looked up, and they saw the four birds, lovely against the blue sky, flying very close together, heading back to the lake in the woods. Now, it must have been about a half an hour later that I myself walked into the Greggs' garden. I had come to see how things were going, and I must admit I was expecting the worst. At the gate, I stopped and stared. It was a really weird sight. In one corner, Mr. Gregg was smashing all three guns into tiny, tiny pieces with a huge hammer. In another corner, Mrs. Gregg was placing beautiful flowers upon 16 tiny mounds of soil, which I learned later were the graves of the ducks that had been shot that day, the day before. And in the middle of the yard stood Philip and William with a sack of their father's best barley with them, beside them. They were surrounded by ducks and doves and pigeons and sparrows and robins and larks, many other kinds that I didn't even know what they were. And the birds were eating the barley that the boys were scattering around by handfuls. Good morning, Mr. Gregg, I said. Mr. Gregg lowered his hammer and looked at me. My name is not Gregg anymore, he said. In honor of my feathered friends, I have changed it from Gregg to Egg. And I am Mrs. Egg, said Mrs. Gregg. What happened? I asked. They seemed to have gone completely dotty, crazy, all four of them. Philip and William then began to tell me the whole story. When they had finished, William said, Look, look, there's the nest. Can you see it? Right up there on the top of the tree. That's where we slept last night. And I built it all myself, Mr. Egg said proudly. Every stick of it. If you don't believe us, Mrs. Egg said, just go into the house and take a look at the bathroom. It's a mess. Yeah, they filled the tub right up to the brim, Philip said. They must have been swimming around in it all night, and feathers were everywhere. Ducks like water, Mr. Egg said. I'm glad they had a good time. Just then, from somewhere over by the lake, there came a loud bang. Someone's shooting, I cried. Well, that'll be Jim Cooper, Mr. Egg said. Him and his three boys, they're shooting mad, and those Coopers are the whole family. Suddenly, I started seeing red, and I got really hot all over. Then the tip of my finger began tingling and shaking most terribly. I could feel the power building up and up inside me. I turned, started running towards the lake as fast as I could. "Hey!" shouted Mr. Egg. "What's up? Where are you going?" "I'm going to find the Coopers," I called back. But why?" You wait and see," I said. "They'll be nesting in the trees tonight. Every last one of them." That's the end of the book. I'll post this in the email along with our Zoom meeting today and the AR number so that you're able to take a test. Don't take the test until you've listened to all 4 parts, please. Okay? Have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you soon.